Licensure Examination for Teachers. Subject: English. Field of Specialization for secondary level only. Topic: Theoretical Foundations. Introduction to Linguistics, Structure of English, Literary Criticism, Stylistics. Question number 1. Which branch of linguistics studies the internal structure of words and the rules of word formation? A. Syntax. B. Phonology. C. Morphology. D. Semantics. Correct answer: C. Morphology. Why the wrong answers are wrong? A. Syntax is the study of sentence structure and how words are arranged to form phrases, clauses, and sentences. It's about word order, not word parts. B. Phonology is the study of sound systems and how sounds function in a language. It deals with sound rules, not word structure. D. Semantics is the study of meaning in language. It deals with the meaning of words and sentences, but not their internal construction. Edge knowledge. Think of the word itself. Morph means form or shape. Morphology is about the shape or form of words. Just as a biologist studies the morphology of an organism, a linguist studies the morphology of a word. This simple connection helps you recall the correct answer without hesitation. Question number 2. In the sentence, the teacher happily distributed the tests to her relieved students. Which word is a derivational morpheme? A. Ly. B. Re. C. Ed. D. S. Correct answer: A. Ly. Why the wrong answers are wrong? B. Re is a derivational morpheme, but the word relieved comes from the root relieve. In this context, it is not the best answer, as happily is a more direct example of the morpheme's function. C. Ed and D. S are inflectional morphemes. Inflectional morphemes change a word's form to indicate tense, number, case, or gender, but they don't change the word's grammatical category. For example, distributed is still a verb, and students is still a noun. Edge knowledge. The key is to distinguish between derivational and inflectional morphemes. The change of part of speech rule is your most reliable shortcut for spotting a derivational morpheme. Remember, English only has 8 inflectional morphemes: s, apostrophe s, es, ed, ing, en, er, est. So if the morpheme isn't one of those, it's likely derivational. Question number 3. A student analyzes a poem and argues that its meaning is not determined by the author's intent but by how the reader interprets the text. This approach is most closely associated with which school of literary criticism? A. Formalism. B. Historical criticism. C. Reader response criticism. D. Psychoanalytic criticism. Correct answer: C. Reader response criticism. Why the wrong answers are wrong? A. Formalism focuses exclusively on the form and structure of a text, ignoring the author, historical context, or reader's interpretation. B. Historical criticism interprets a text by understanding its historical context, author's biography, and the time in which it was written. It's the opposite of ignoring the author. D. Psychoanalytic criticism applies Freudian or other psychological concepts to analyze the character's or the author's subconscious. It's not about the reader's interpretation. Edge knowledge. The word reader is the key. When you see a question about meaning being created by the reader or the audience, think reader response. It's one of the most straightforward connections in literary theory. Question number 4. Which stylistic device is being used in the phrase, "The sun smiled down on the children playing in the park"? A. Metaphor. B. Simile. C. Personification. D. Hyperbole. Correct answer: C. Personification. Why the wrong answers are wrong? A. Metaphor is a direct comparison between two unlike things without using like or as. The sun isn't being compared to something else, it's being given a human quality. B. Simile makes a comparison using like or as. The phrase does not use either word. D. Hyperbole is an exaggeration for emphasis. While a smile might be a figurative action, the statement itself is not an extreme exaggeration. Edge knowledge. The core concept here is giving human attributes to something that is not human. Look for verbs or actions that only humans can perform, like smiling, crying, whispering, or dancing, and see if they are applied to an inanimate object. This is your quickest way to spot personification. Question number 5. A student is analyzing a text and finds a lot of complex, academic words. The student concludes that the text's diction is formal and technical. What linguistic concept is the student analyzing? A. Syntax. B. Semantics. C. Lexical choice. D. Phonology. Correct answer. C. Lexical choice. Why the wrong answers are wrong? A. Syntax is about sentence structure, not word choice. B. Semantics is about meaning, but the student is analyzing the type of words, which is a stylistic analysis, not just their meaning. D. Phonology is about sounds, which is not relevant to the words themselves. Edge knowledge. When you see the word diction in a question, think word choice. Diction is a term of art in stylistics and writing that refers to an author's choice of vocabulary. The best answer will be the one that is most closely related to words themselves, which is lexical choice. Question number 6. The sentence, "She not only sings well but also plays the guitar beautifully," uses which grammatical structure? A. Parallelism. B. Subordination. C. Coordination. D. Ellipsis. Correct answer. A. Parallelism. Why the wrong answers are wrong? B. Subordination involves using a dependent clause to add detail to an independent clause. The sentence here uses clauses of equal importance. C. Coordination uses conjunctions like and, but, or, to link words, phrases, or clauses of equal grammatical rank. While coordination is used in the sentence, parallelism is the more specific and accurate term for the matching structure. D. Ellipsis is the omission of words, which is not what's happening in the sentence. Edge knowledge. When you see a sentence with two or more phrases or clauses that have a similar grammatical form, think parallelism. The phrases "sings well" and "plays beautifully" are structured in the same way, verb plus adverb. The moment you spot this balance, you've found the answer. Question number 7. Which of the following phrases is grammatically incorrect? A. The committee are divided on the issue. B. Neither the students nor the teacher is ready. C. Each of the boys has his own book. D. A number of the students is absent. Correct answer. D. A number of the students is absent. Why the wrong answers are wrong? A. This is a case of collective noun agreement. In British English, and increasingly common in American English, collective nouns like committee can take a plural verb when the members are acting individually, as indicated by divided. This is a valid construction. B. With neither nor, the verb agrees with the subject closest to it. Teacher is singular, so is ready is correct. C. When a sentence begins with each, the verb is always singular, regardless of the noun that follows. Each of the boys has is correct. Edge knowledge. The phrase "a number of" is a common subject-verb agreement trick question. Remember this simple rule. The number of is singular, but a number of is plural. This single fact will instantly help you identify the error. Question number 8. A critic analyzes a novel by examining the social, political, and economic conditions of the time in which it was written. This approach is consistent with which literary theory? A. Marxist criticism. B. Post-structuralism. C. New criticism. D. Psychoanalytic criticism. Correct answer. A. Marxist criticism. Why the wrong answers are wrong? B. Post-structuralism questions the relationship between a text and its meaning and rejects the idea of a fixed structure. It's too abstract for this type of analysis. C. New criticism, aka formalism, is the opposite. It focuses only on the text itself, ignoring external factors like history or economics. D. Psychoanalytic criticism focuses on the author's or character's psyche, not the broader social and economic context. Edge knowledge. Think of the Marx in Marxist. Karl Marx was a philosopher who focused on class and economics. Anytime a question about literary criticism mentions money, class, power, or social structures, think Marxist criticism. Question number 9. In the sentence, the teacher gave the students a difficult test. What is the function of the word students? A. Indirect object. B. Direct object. C. Object of the preposition. D. Adverbial. Correct answer. A. Indirect object. Why the wrong answers are wrong? B. Direct object is the thing receiving the action of the verb. The test is what was given, so test is the direct object. C. Object of the preposition would be a noun or pronoun that follows a preposition, like to, for, with. Here, students is not preceded by a preposition. D. Adverbial is a word or phrase that modifies a verb. Students is a noun acting as a receiver of the action. Edge knowledge. The fastest way to find the indirect object is to rearrange the sentence. The sentence "the teacher gave the students a difficult test" can be rephrased as "the teacher gave a difficult test to the students." The noun that follows the implied to is almost always the indirect object. Question number 10. A writer's consistent use of short, choppy sentences and simple vocabulary to create a sense of urgency and tension is an example of which stylistic element? A. Allusion. B. Anaphora. C. Syntax. D. Punctuation. Correct answer. C. Syntax. Why the wrong answers are wrong? A. Allusion is a reference to another work of literature or a person, event. This is a word choice, not a sentence structure. B. Anaphora is the repetition of a word or phrase at the beginning of successive clauses. The question describes sentence length and structure, not repetition. D. Punctuation is about commas, periods, etc. While related to sentence breaks, the core stylistic choice is the length and structure of the sentences, which falls under syntax. Edge knowledge. When you are asked about the author's use of sentence length, sentence complexity, or word order, the answer is almost always syntax. It's the building block of a sentence. Remember, syntax is structure, diction is word choice. Keeping these two straight will help you solve many stylistic questions. If this video gave you an edge, sharpen that like button and subscribe to stay ahead.